Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the least important recording projects ever. And this one is absolutely the most least important recording project in the history of mankind. I guarantee it. It's this. Wait a minute. I gotta get over here. Oh, my goodness. This. Oh, it looks totally blank, doesn't it? Let's turn it around. Here it is. It's Maria Callas in all her roles. 135 objects, of which you have, let's see, it says here somewhere. Oh, here we go. 131 CDs, 3 Blu-rays, and 1 DVD. It's like everything Callas that EMI has ever issued, more or less. But before we get to why this is the most unimportant recording project ever, well, the reason, of course, is because all this stuff has been available so many times before. But I want to take us through the history of Maria Callas on CD. I'm putting this where the cats usually go, right there in the cat spot. Sorry, dears, they're over there, actually. So let us begin. Maria Callas existed on CD around the time I was in college. So we're talking about the late 70s, early 80s is when the Maria Callas CDs started to come out. And they were hugely anticipated because most of the stuff, remember, there was this sort of interim period between the demise of the LP and the rise of the CD. And a lot of the stuff was out of print. And when Maria Callas started coming out on CD, it actually supported all of EMI for like years. Everybody was replacing their LPs with CDs. It was a big deal. And they looked like this. Here is a sample. This is her Madame Butterfly. They were these black slip cases with usual, CDs and complete notes and libretti, the way operas were issued at the time. This one came out, let's see, the digital remastering here says 1997. So this was a rather late one, actually, because there were a lot that came out before. But this is what they were. And there were these black ones, and then when they started doing some of the live stuff, it was the same design, but they were blue. All right, so this was the original Maria Callas stuff. Then they started boxing them up, and boxing them up in numerous different ways. For example, get ready. All right. We have Maria Callas, the complete studio recordings. Now, this was like a super budget release of just like, a lot of stuff here, 70 CDs. And it was her complete studio recordings. So there you go. Now, of course, there was lots of live stuff, but there they are in this handy dandy cheap box. No librettos, no nothing, no anything useful. But there they were, and it was handy to have, and it was really cheap. It was a good way to get it. But then, deciding that cheap wasn't the best way to go, this thing showed up a few years ago. Wait a minute. This is that. This is the complete studio recordings remastered. This giant red thing. And yes, remastered. Her complete studio recordings. And this was rather a nice box. I mean, let me open this up and show you. Here we go. Put it over here a little bit. There we are. Let's open it up. Yes, there we go. Yeah, it came with this giant black foam thing because it's at an angle. You'll see. Watch when I turn this around. You got a lovely book, and then you have all of the operas in this sort of amphitheater type arrangement. See that? Isn't that nice? It was very nice. So there they all are. And you've got like rarities and recitals and other things too. But that's were the recitals in here? I think so. At least if it was a studio thing, it was in there. So then I have to figure out, figuring out how to put this thing back so that it's, oh, there we go. Yes, you have to be a little clever in order to reassemble it. And then we stick this back here, and then this went on top like that. And this, I believe, is still available. I think it is anyway. I think so. So there's that. Then what we had also Hang on, I have to get up for this one. Oh, wow. There were all of her live recordings. Here they are in this box. This is all the stuff. Now, this is not all of her live recordings. I mean, there's like a bazillion of them. They were pirates. I mean, how did these things come to be? They came to be because people showed up at actual operas and with like tape recorders and microphones up their sleeves because people wore suits in those days. So you could hide all kinds of electronics on your being. And they recorded these things, or they were radio broadcasts, one or the other. Pirates and radio broadcast, private sources. Who knows where this stuff came from? Most of it sounds simply dreadful, horrible, awful, terrible. And I can't listen to most of it, frankly. I mean, some people can. They only care about voices, especially like opera people. It doesn't matter whether you can't hear the orchestra or how awful the rest of it is. And your ear quasi-adjusts sometimes. You hear people clomping around the stage and the prompter screaming the lines and audiences hacking and coughing and interference and static. And oh my God, it's a mess. But that's a lot of stuff. And it's stuff that really was important for the Callas legacy. It really was. There's no question about that. So we will talk about that a bit too. And then, wait. There was this interesting thing, which was not even issued by Warner. This was issued by Membran. This thing, Maria Callas, and it's 64 CDs, including a bonus CD, her Montreal 1974 farewell recital with Giuseppe Di Stefano, which sounded just horrible. Oh my God, she was an awful voice for that. 74. I mean, it was just a mess. Stop it, cats, please. Thank you. And you've got a mixture here of studio stuff and live stuff and that 1974 recital, and it's in a very nice box, and it happens to be rather attractively packaged. Let me show you. Oh, yeah. There we go. If you open this up, you'll see that you get these things are done by Composer in these boxes, and there's a bit of sponge here that's already turning yellow, and it's probably going to disintegrate and create a toxic swamp inside this if I don't get rid of it or do something else. But that went over there. So there we are. So that sort of covers the operas. Wait a minute. I've got this. Okay. Then there are the recitals. Now, the recitals showed up, first of all, individually. Here they are all. They are individually. And then EMI in those days, it wasn't Warner, it was EMI, just stuffed them all in a box. Here's the box. Recitals, 1954 to 1969. That was quite handy. It was what? It was 10 CDs or so? Yeah, roughly. I think 11 CDs. All right. Yes, 11 CDs. Then, as far as the recitals went, they repackaged them in two different boxes. The live recitals. This is 14 CDs. Studio recitals, and these are studio ones. This blue one, they redid it. They changed the color scheme. Blue used to be live and black was studio. Well, now blue is studio and black is live. These are the live recitals. Some bunches of them that were issued on discs, and Maria Callas in conversation with Edward Downes. How exciting. So there we go, the in conversation thing. So that's that. So we have the recitals issued and reissued, all of which is a prelude to this thing, which has just been reissued, which contains all of this material. I don't know if the Edward Downes interview is in here. I wonder. I don't really care that much. Should I check? Nah, I'm not going to waste your time. It may be, it may not be. Anyway, I'll go and look. I'll go and look because this has. Now this is a nice box. It's a nice sturdy box, of course. And if you open the nice sturdy box, and this is a limited edition, by the way, 3,000 copies, and this is number 1,348. So hurry up, and you get, of course. Well, this is very interesting. Wait a minute. You get your bullshit book. Of course, you have to have the bullshit book, which is essays and pictures and stuff like that, with not a word. Oh, there is an index of the roles sung by Maria Callas. Not that that's in the recordings. And then there's the 43 roles sung on stage and all this stuff, which is wonderful. But of course, it has nothing to do with what's actually in the box. Why should they tell you? What's in the box? And the box itself is rather simply done. They've just taken individual little skinny CDs. They're sort of original jackets. I mean, they do have, yes, original, cover things. And then they just shoved them in here, all 134 of them. So there they are. So let me take the bullshit box and put it in the bullshit book, pardon me, and put it back. But there's more. There's more. There's this. Now, this is fascinating. Let's celebrate the centenary year of the operatic soprano with the digital collectible NFT La Divina. Free gift only available to the owner of the box set. Maria Callas and all her roles. It keeps saying NFT. I didn't know what an NFT was. Do you know what an NFT is? Well, I looked it up, and I'm going to tell you it's an NFT. You get an NFT, and this is what an NFT is. Hang on a minute. I'm going to read you what an NFT is. NFT, meaning, here we go. I have it in Wikipedia. Thank God. It's a non-fungible token. NFT stands for non-fungible token. And a non-fungible token, hang on, let me read this. This is fascinating. A non-fungible token is a unique digital identifier that is recorded on a blockchain and is used to certify ownership and authenticity. It cannot be copied, substituted, or subdivided. The ownership of an NFT is recorded in the blockchain and can be transferred by the owner, allowing NFTs to be sold and traded. NFTs can be created by anybody and require few or no coding skills to create. NFTs typically contain references to digital files, such as artworks, photos, videos, and audio. Because NFTs are uniquely identifiable, they differ from cryptocurrencies, which are fungible. So there you go. That's an NFT. Apparently, they're worthless. There was a huge market on them. It says here, let's see, during their peak, the three biggest NFT platforms were Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano. In 2022, the NFT market collapsed. A May 2022 estimate was that the number of sales was down over 90% compared to 2021. A September 2023 report by Dep Gamble showed that out of 73,257 NFT collections looked at, over 95% of them had zero monetary value. Okay, so there's the NFT business. Now, in order to do this, and I'm going to do this live. You saw it here first. You may want to skip this part if it bores you to tears. I think this is fascinating. You scan the unique code on the flyer. There it is. Okay, so wait, got my phone here, so hold it. I'm going to scan the I get my camera going, and we scan this thing. There it is. There it is. Wait a minute. It was scanning. Then okay, I did it. Maria Callas La Divina, put in your email address. Oh, so they're going to get me forever. But the things I do for you folks. And listen exclusively. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. And listen to an exclusive a cappella excerpt of Visidarte. A cappella. Exclusively. And I can claim it now. Okay, with all due respect, I'm going to wait. That's my NFT digital free super duper gift thing. There we go. I'm sticking that back in there. Who knows how long it's going to last, but we'll see what happens. Isn't that fascinating? I get an a cappella excerpt of Visidarte in exchange for my email address so that they can send me garbage for the rest of my existence on this mortal orb. I think I may take a pass on that one. I hope you understand. All right, so what is in this thing? Let me tell you. Fortunately, it comes with this wonderful little thing that, fits around the box like this. So you take it off and it's got, the blurb on the front and the contents of the back. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit in the box. Well, yes, it does, actually. I think I may just stick it in the box and hang on to it because it actually tells you what's inside. There's nothing else did that. Yes, you don't want to be up there, do you, dear? I've got CDs up there. Thank you. Okay, that was Finster. All right, see you later. Okay, so what do you get? Bellini. You get two Normas, her two Normas. These are studio recordings, the complete studio recordings of operas. Norma I Puritani, La Sonnambula, Carmen, Medea, two Lucia de Lammermoors, Pagliacci, Cavalleria Rusticana, two Giocondas, one of the early ones. The early one was on Cetra, remember, along with that early La Traviata. Then for Puccini, you get La Boheme, Madame Butterfly, Manon Lescaut, the two Toscas, the mono and stereo, Turandot and Rossini, the Barber of Seville, and the Turk in Italy, Verdi, Aida, and Ballo and Mascara, La Forza del Destino, Rigoletto, the Cetra Traviata, and Il Trovatore, and then recitals, a whole pile of recitals. Okay, next come live recordings. You ready? Complete operas. You get Norma again, Il Pirata, two Sonnambulas, oh baby, another Medea, the one with Bernstein conducting, actually. Donizetti, Anna Bolena, Lucia de Lammermoor, the Berlin one with Karajan, which is fabulous. It actually was done by Berlin Radio. It doesn't sound too bad. So that's like a big deal. You can actually listen to it. It's from 1955. And then Donizetti's Paliuto. Giordano, Andrea Chenier, beloved of failing sopranos everywhere because it's a wonderful role that allows you to, kill yourself and go crazy, but the role never goes above like a B or something. I don't know. It's not so high. The tessitura. Gluck, Alceste, and Iphigenia in Tauride. Now, these are important. It's such a shame that Gluck has always been dogged, nowhere more so than in the 50s, as sort of an, out of style, horrible, because they were perfect roles for Callas. Her Iphigenia is fantastic. I even put up with the horrible sonics to listen to this stuff. And Alceste, too, she loved those operas because they really went, that sort of nobility acting through the voice, tragic heroine. So she was great in classical drama. And unfortunately, we don't have studio recordings of those. That's my big loss. Everyone talks about, no studio Traviata. Well, we do have a studio Traviata, but a late, mature Callas Traviata. I think it's the Gluck operas. I really do, that we miss. Then there's Tosca from London in 1964. Oh, yeah, not good voice. Rossini's Armida, that's bizarre. Spontini's La Vestale, we should have done some of that too in stereo, or in studio. Then Verdi, lots of Verdi. Aida, Ballo and Mascara, Macbeth, Nabucco, Rigoletto, two Traviatas, Milan and Lisbon. The Lisbon Traviata. Oh, the sound is so bad. It's awful. Sicilian Vespers. Wagner, Parsifal. Oh, yeah, from 1950 in Rome, in Italian even. She sings Kundry. Then a whole pile of live recitals, going up through 1976, live in Paris. Well, 1977, she'd be dead in Paris. So, And then a couple videos, live in Paris 58, live in Hamburg, and live in Covent Garden. And you don't get the interview thing. I don't see that. But you do have studio alternate takes and working sessions, which is a first release. Hear what they didn't release. Yes. And then the Juilliard masterclasses on 2 discs. Somebody showed up with a tape recorder up their sleeve. And let's see. And then you do get a DVD-ROM with libretti, text, recording sheets, interviews. Oh, interviews. That's probably there too. Maybe it's on that thing. But because I haven't checked. No intention of checking. So there you go. There it is. So it's all of that that's already come out previously. That certainly qualifies it as the least important recording project ever. Now, of course, if you know nothing about Maria Callas and you want to take the plunge, then this is a plunger. Boy, is this a plunger. Let me see if I can fit this thing inside the box. That would be, the icing on the cake, frankly. Even better than my non-fungible token. I mean, hard as that. No, it doesn't fit inside the box. Who am I kidding? That would have been so nice. Maybe I'll fold it up somehow, or I'll stick it back on here. And I don't know. I give up. It's all too complicated for me. I'm just a simple guy who wanted a few Maria Callas CDs, and look at what I wound up with. It's unbelievable. So it's up to you. If you want to get it, it's there. And I've done my duty. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.